Hi everybody, it is diaperperv, and over here is Mystery, and we are in his nursery right now. Nursery you've seen before in an older video when I did a video tour. But today we're going to talk about...
There's no crumbs in the crib this time.
Oh my goodness! You are right. Okay, the whole nursery is very clean. And thank you for not having my hands covered in crumbs. I mean, crumbs happen, right?
That's I feel like that's my life motto.
I love that. You should make a t-shirt, a blue t-shirt that says crumbs happen.
Don't tempt me. I absolutely will do that.
So this is a hard subject that we're going to tackle today, but it is going from vanilla to ABDL. And how did a person like me, who I consider myself a very closed-minded person, get into diapers, peeing, messing, pegging, anal play, feminization, so many things.
Yeah, how does that transition happen?
It happened over time and through exposure.
Now, when you said over time,
Long time.
Long time.
Yes, yeah. Okay, let's address the word vanilla first, because I hate that word so much, and I feel like we should not use it.
I don't think you're talking about ice cream.
No. We're talking about, I guess, like kinks and things that turn us on. And I don't think anyone is truly vanilla. Almost every person I've met has some type of like thing that gets them going. Whether it's innocuous as like, I really like, red hair, or I like guys that wear this type of clothes, or I like, public stuff, right? And to us that might seem vanilla, but to them it's a preference, and this thing is just a preference. If someone's not ABDL, you just say non-ABDL instead of vanilla, because that's saying, oh, well, this person has no kinks, when you don't know that. Do you know who this person, like what they're thinking about or fantasizing about? And I hate that so much, because it kind of has a us versus them mentality, and I don't like that, because everybody is vanilla until they find out they're not. Like, I thought I didn't know those words existed when I was young, right? So, before 18, I didn't know what I was. I just knew that I liked something that was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people, unless you have the blessed resources of growing up with the internet, which is not something that you or I had.
No.
I think, a lot of your early steps into the world is spent thinking that you've got to have the most insanely unique, weird, like no one else on the face of the earth could be into the same stuff. You're sitting here going, that's cool.
Yes. Yes. And it's not just kinks. It's any kind of like interest. Period. I thought I was weird at like 7 for liking non-diaper stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even talking about like the pants wedding or omarashi or pee stuff. I'm talking about like other interests. I thought I was weird. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And now we have Midsummer Scream. And now there's 55,000 people like me. How did I get into everything? Right? Well, I was already into pee. I was already into watching girls and guys wetting themselves and wetting myself. And then, like, this one's been explained, my other how did I get into ABDL thing. But right now, let's try and narrow down, how did a vanilla closed-minded person, and I'm still closed-minded, that's how I identify. Mm-hmm. How did I get all these interests? I think the easiest way to explain it is that someone exposed it to me, and then you participate in it, and then it sparks or it doesn't spark, and sometimes it takes years to spark, to like get an emotional, a visceral, a like, I don't know, like a kink type, like I'm turned on by this reaction, and it's different for every person.
Would you say there's a point in time? Because I mean, when we get into ABDL, it's a deep well.
It is.
You've got medical aspects, you've got age play aspects, you've got dark age play aspects. ABDL can be applied across a large spectrum of
Yeah.
other borderline kinks and other more traditional BDSM interests. So is there a point where being a closed-minded person coming from the vanilla world in which, like, how quickly do you go from shallow to deep end?
I think it depends on what aspects it is, and like overall, my journey has taken years, like legit many years, and I actually forgot that diapers turned me on for like a big chunk of my life in the middle, and then rediscovered it again, and then thought it was the first time, which is so weird how your mind works, you know. And like let's break it down. The messing part. That thought didn't turn me on. Like people would ask me during sessions, like, "Hey, do you do messing?" And my automatic answer was no, because it scared me. Like the cleanup, the smell. Yeah, it was just an automatic no. And then I started watching videos of guys messing, and I remember just turned me on so much, like insanely more than just a guy wetting, right? And then so I had to see the videos first for it to turn me on, and then experience it in real life. And then I thought I was ready, you know. So, and then I realized, like, even if a guy messes in front of me, I don't have to clean it up. I can do it in stages. Like, I can watch it, and then I know if I'm uncomfortable, I can leave, you know, but maybe establish something like, I don't want to clean it up just yet. It's too much. I'm not ready for that.
So, I mean, and this might be something to cut and put back in towards the end of the video, but I feel like we're on this question now.
Yeah.
Is there advice on somebody who's sitting there like thinking to themselves, you know, I'm vanilla, but my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my partner's into this, husband, wife, whatever, like, you know, is there advice on how they like how to best kind of get into it? Like you just said, is, you know, little bit by little bit, like I don't have to change a messy diaper,
Right.
but I just want to sit here and just be present in the fact that I know that you are in a messy diaper. And does that become, I'm now watching you mess the diaper? Does that then become, now I'm okay attempting to change the messy diaper? And, you know, sort of, is there advice on how to proceed, or how to work through that process?
Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know if this is great advice, but I think you should tell your partner, like, to think of someone they have a crush on, someone that they, like an actor or musician, like that. And if that happened to them, would you still be turned on? And think about that instead of your partner. None of my advice is great, and I'm certainly not a professional at anything, you guys. Please don't listen to me. I think reading stories is good, because stories have a lot more emotion in them, and for me, the emotional part really clicks in. Like for like a caregiver, little, or even like me being a caregiver and the other person even being a DL and being me being the facilitator. Like, I think reading the stories helps. So trying to read through different types of stories until you find some that click with you, or make your heart race and make you blush and, you know, make you sweat a little. I think those are important factors. And watching media and video, because that's what did it for me on some parts. Now, pegging, watching pegging videos didn't do anything for me. I had to experience that. And the first time I pegged someone, wasn't turned on. Second time, not. No. Like years went by of me pegging different people, you know, if they requested it, and until it was the right combination. It was someone that I felt very, very comfortable with, that I had pegged time and time again, and then it's also seeing their reaction. So they need to be vulnerable enough with me to really let go and show their emotions and how they're feeling and express it in an outward projection that I can see and accept it. That was a huge part. And then everything just lined up. And then one day as I was pegging him, I think he knows who he is. It's my favorite play partner, the one I just saw in August. We're still in August. Yeah, it was like a whole combination of all of that I just mentioned. And then it clicked in here and everywhere else in my body where I was like, whoa, this is like really freaking hot right now. And I want this moment to keep going.
So good news. So what I'm getting this is the good news to all the partners out there that are into something. Are you saying that there's a chance that their partner might eventually find that they enjoy stuff that like diapers and stuff that they were otherwise vanilla and closed off to?
I think so, because isn't that the case for everything in life? You know, if the first experience isn't a great experience and that it doesn't align with some things that the person might already like, then it might turn them off, you know. But there's so many different aspects and the interpersonal relationship and how they feel about it. I equate it to like ABDL to everything else in life, like rock climbing, right? You might look at a video of rock climbing and be like, those people are freaking insane. I would never do that. And then a good friend from work would be like, hey, do you want to try rock climbing, right? Well, I think it's probably a bad idea if they took this novice out to like Red Rock Canyon to the steepest, you know, most difficult climb and not gave them any information.
Right,
and
right.
just hook them up, and then they had a panic attack because now they don't know what they're doing and they don't know, you know, how to do it safely and slowly. You should probably go to an indoor rock climbing place with proper instruction, or it's just like Indian food too, like right? And then maybe one person's like, oh, I've never had Indian food and it smells weird. I don't like spicy food. Well, not all Indian food is spicy. You have to know kind of that person's taste, what they already like, and then kind of pick and choose and serve them up something that they're probably more likely they're gonna like than something that's like way off their palate.
Yeah.
I know all these things because I've done it.
Yeah.
With my husband and other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I you have to forgive me. I laugh at that using the Indian food as the analogy there, just because from personal experiences, I know for a fact there is a stark difference between American spice levels and actual traditional Indian spice levels. And if you get the right dish in an authentic situation,
right.
You can bite off more than you're willing to chew.
Yeah.
And I feel that's so true though with kink though as well, because I feel like without the right proper guidance and the right kind of reference material, you know, jumping into something like ABDL, can end up being such a bigger project than what you're prepared for.
Yeah, and I think some people are hesitant about jumping into ABDL because they don't know what their partner expects from them, and they feel like they can't deliver because they don't have the knowledge of what to do, they have no references, and they don't know what's right and wrong, where in reality there is really no right and wrong, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
everyone is so different. um,
So, what would you say to somebody who is closed-minded and is sitting there looking at something like, again, just use ABDL since that's the world I'm familiar with.
yeah,
Um,
well, we can also kind of equate it to scare acting too, because I've tried to bring a lot of friends into that, and there will be a good percentage that's like, no, I don't think I'm gonna be good at it.
right, 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 and it's one of those things where you don't know until you do it.
Yes,
Then,
you don't know until you do
and
it.
then really even then, it's not until you get that first legitimate jump scare on somebody where you know who you are, and they respond to you like you're somebody that crawled up from hell. And, and it's just that it's a power exchange. It's that moment you realize you have power over them.
You're right.
You know.
Yes.
That I mean, the hamster is working overtime because I've never thought of it that way. But yeah, it's a power exchange.
It is. Yeah, like you're in
And
control of the room.
consent power exchange.
Oh
CNC baby.
Oh. I love it. I love that we can like swing it back around to that. But it is true. And I've brought in friends that were hesitant to try it, and they ended up loving it, and they're very passionate about it. And you don't know how you're going to feel about it until you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and until you feel that rush, that enjoyment. Everyone gets something different out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even, I don't even know how to explain it.
So true.
You know, and for me as a top, I get something different than you get from being diapered or changed.
Right.
And I've never like really thought about that, like what I get from it emotionally, psychologically. I don't know. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. So would you say then that it's almost okay to have adversal reactions to the subject? Like, somebody comes up to you and says, "Hi, we're just starting to play together, and
Yeah.
we have this developing relationship, and I'm into I'm into oranges,
Oranges?
oranges.
Oh,
into
okay.
oranges.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like shoved up your butt?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? And you use orange to be the placeholder for whatever interest you have.
Yeah, okay.
I guess is sort of where I'm going with this. Is it okay to sit there and go, I do, like, I have that almost that visceral ew kind of reaction at first.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I have that reaction all the time in my life.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm closed-minded.
And this is why we're having this conversation.
Yes.
So what is that like? Walk me through that. What is that like to have that reaction, and how do you overcome that? And what do you do to kind of help yourself in that mind space?
Okay, so for me, as a closed-minded person, I need like the idea first, and then I don't want to be pressured into doing the idea of whatever, incorporating the oranges in, until I've thought about it. So that's it. Just leave it as it is, and if I have questions about how to use the oranges
Mm-hmm.
in the play, then I would ask it, or I'd be like, give me examples.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my mind, I'm like probably judging them. I'm being
Sure.
like, how can anyone want to incorporate oranges? That's so weird. Remember, I'm not open-minded, guys. But then I let the idea sit for a while, and then I think about it, and then I ruminate on it, and that takes time. And then I might look for some media that incorporates oranges and look at the media and see if it gets any type of reaction. And sometimes it takes a while.
Mm-hmm. You know, I heard it said a long time ago that the things that you make fun of the most or dislike the most end up being the things you're secretly, kinkily involved with or interested in.
Yeah.
So.
I've heard that, I guess.
I guess that kind of applies. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Because I have a lot of reactions where my first reaction is ew, or I shouldn't do that. I'm trying to be less outwardly judgmental.
Well, I think what you're doing is acknowledging the very human reaction of this isn't my thing. Mm-mm. And my initial adversal reaction to it is ew, but I think the overall message here, especially coming from your own walk, your own path through kink, is that the ew can be overcome.
Yes, yes.
And that it's okay to have the ew as long as you have the mindset and the open-mindedness to challenge yourself to ask questions.
Yeah.
To sit with it and decide where the ooh is coming from.
Yeah, sometimes that takes a while, and sometimes it takes friends or a partner to ask why do you feel that way, and that really helps the exploration of getting that answer in my mind.
So if we were to take a hypothetical situation, let's say you had a partner or a client come up to you and tell you that they are into scary clowns, pegging them while they're wearing a 1920s ballerina tutu.
I'd be down for that.
I love how I'm trying to come up with something that's completely off the walls.
Yeah, that's hot.
And now you're like, no, I'm clowns, I'm in.
Yeah, can we do it in a haunted attraction?
Let's go for a graveyard while we're at it. A graveyard inside a haunted attraction.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm
going
to fucking slam you against that grave.
Okay.
Yeah, face down. Right now, you're trying to give me a scenario where I would not like it initially.
Right.
Okay. I can think of one. I'm not really into the diaper boys that are wearing pup hoods because I can't see their face.
Okay.
That's not something that turns me on at all. And I don't think I would like that if a partner wanted to wear one. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, now I can't see your reactions, and that's a big part of it. So how do I overcome that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe through hearing his voice talking to me and his body language and focusing on that. Mm-hmm. I would probably try to ignore the hood. And I'm not kink shaming. This is just something that I'm not into, which is weird because if they're wearing a Freddy Krueger mask, I'd be fine with that.
Sure. Is there a difference between kink shaming and just not being closed-minded and having an adverse reaction to a kink?
Yeah, kink shaming is actively belittling someone and making fun of what they're into, whereas just having a reaction and saying, I don't think it's for me because it's jarring or different, but you don't say anything mean about it. I don't think that's shaming.
So you hear that, internet? You're allowed to have a different opinion than everyone else. And it is how you choose to express your opinion that matters. It's okay to not like something or someone. It's not okay to weaponize that to make them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, we're talking about something that's illegal or actually doing harm to somebody or somebody involving children or a consent violation. What else would you like to say to somebody if you had somebody sitting in front of you right now who is closed-minded about something,
Yeah.
let's just say ABDL, because
Yeah.
common thread.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to them?
I actually wouldn't give advice. I would actually ask them questions if they were in front of me right now. I would ask them, like, why do you feel that way? What do you know about adult babies and diaper lovers? And what's your experience with them? And then I would listen to what they have to say and address it as it comes along. Because I feel like most people have these opinions based on something that they've seen, probably in the media, because the media likes to sensationalize a lot of different things, or they've heard something hearsay from another person, or they think that age play and adult babies involve something that it doesn't involve. So I wouldn't give them any advice. I would ask questions and ask more questions and then respond to them accordingly by educating them and give them information.
So you would say that being closed-minded towards kinks and whatnot might in part stem from a uneducated or a poorly biased opinion.
Yes.
Framed from lack of knowledge or exposure.
Yes, absolutely yes. And I think a lot of people, when they hear about these different types of lifestyles and choices, they think, how would I do that? How does it apply to me? And that's their reaction to it. It's because it's not just ABDL that gets a bad rap. Like, it's swingers. I like to watch different channels on YouTube for advice, and I like going on swinger channels because I get a lot of the ideas for videos from those, and a lot of communication advice through swinger channels. And some of the comments on those are like horrific, and I'm like, that's just regular sex, like, and so many people have such adverse reaction. But I realize they're reacting like that because they're applying it to themselves and their own relationship, like because they're very jealous or whatever, and they can never imagine that. And I'm like, but that has nothing to do with you. That's another person's choice, and they're explaining it through information.
That answer almost reminds me of a meme I saw one time of it was hand drawn, but it was a baby fur and a furry, and the furry is trying to ignore the baby fur, and the baby fur the speech bubble was, "Look at me, brother."
Yeah, because they're kind of the same, but not the same, but they both have kinks.
Right. Yeah.
Or
It's
something that's not like just straight penile in this orifice, and
right.
yeah, there is a lot of lack of understanding for a lot of other desires and likes, and it is sad.
So it's, I guess it's important to be open-minded and not yuck somebody else's yum.
Yes, like respecting other people. I think.
How would you say you have changed between, like, if you could put yourself on the same crib and be sitting next to yourself from 20 years ago, how much have you changed between then and now?
Quite a lot, I think. I mean, I've just been exposed to so much more, and you don't know what's going to affect you until you've been exposed to things, until you've experienced different things and met people from different walks of life that have different interests. I'm not just talking about ABDL, too. Like, I think one of my biggest accomplishments is that I'm accepting more of alcohol. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because my entire young adulthood, I was so close-minded about, like, alcohol, about why it's legal, about people who use it. I was so judgmental.
Mm.
And then I ended up, my first husband, I ended up marrying someone who did have, who liked alcohol a lot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like almost to the point of like a slight, it could be problematic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And that was like a fucking 180 from like everything that I believed in.
I think I just had a moment of being judgmental myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just on the, I just imagine you're a typical alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any more information about the person or what they're into or whatever. Just the stigma of alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty disease.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of really good people that have overcome it.
Yes. Right.
But yeah, just that stigmatization overshadowing and adding an extra filter on top of someone else that, for lack of any other information, they might be somebody that I want to be around.
Like for me, I always judge like all alcohol as being bad,
Mm-hmm.
whereas now I understand it can be a whole art form. It's a cultural thing. It's how you make it. There's a lot of art and science in that.
Mm-hmm.
The flavors of
Mm-hmm.
it, the mixology of it,
Mm-hmm.
the crafting of it. There's so many different things, and I don't think it's bad. So that's something that I had to overcome, I guess, through exposure, through
Yeah.
being around different people and having them explain it to me. Like I'm 5. And that having, some social drinks or going to bar isn't necessarily a negative thing. When I was younger, I was not okay with fusion food. Because, shut up, because it didn't exist when I was growing up. And I grew up in a very multicultural, city,
Mm-hmm.
but everything was very separate. Vietnamese food, this is
Mm-hmm.
how you make it. This is how you make Korean food. This is
Mm-hmm.
how you make Irish food. So when you mix the two, and then fusion restaurants started coming up, I'm like, oh no. Oh no, it's not authentic.
Right.
It's not like the true traditional way of doing it. I don't know if I can handle it.
Right.
Until someone suggested, hey, we're going to this fusion restaurant. I'm like, what? And then I tried it, and I'm like, oh, I see.
Right.
I see. It's different flavors mixing, and this complement each other, and it wasn't the end of the world. But I think it has to do with knowing someone who's ABDL.
Yeah.
I've told all my friends, what I'm into, and they have a plethora of questions, and it's always the same questions, and I take the time not to judge them for not knowing,
Mm-hmm.
but understand that what they know about it is probably in a newspaper article or some sensationalized thing about some adult baby on a playground
Mm-hmm.
exposing their diapers to kids. That's what makes the news,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I have to investigate. And I say, no, that is an outlier, and the majority of people are like this.
Mm-hmm.
And just be truthful.
I think I've been in ABDL myself practically my entire adult life.
Yeah.
And certainly the interest was there even in my preteen years. Diapers have been present going back to when I was legitimately a bedwetter.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I have told a lot of people over the years about my interest and whatnot. I can't say I've had a single negative reaction, knock on wood,
Wow.
to people finding out about this. There have been a lot of questions. There have been a lot of obvious statements and body language and just the tonality of the conversation where people were just like, yeah, this is not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Great, I know about it. And it's just the conversation's never come up. But I can't say I've ever had a truly negative reaction.
Good. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's just, I think, you know.
Because you're taking the time to educate them and to answer their questions too.
Exactly, and I think that's important. I had a friend that I went to school with. You know, she grew up married, had kids. Posted a meme of her, meme of like an anti-ABDL meme. It was sort of, you know, it was a drawn picture of a couple, and she's holding her baby, you know, in her arms, her husband or her partner, whatever. And I guess the caption, the title of the caption was, you know, something about, you know, you this is the only way you'll ever change him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's some snarky comment like that.
I don't think that's an anti-ABDL. I don't take it as that, though.
I don't think the meme was, but she intended it to be sort of derogatory. And I pulled her into a private conversation. I'm like, just so you know, I'm ABDL. Like,
wow.
You know, what you're posting here is uneducated.
Oh.
And there was questions.
Yeah.
And I don't think I changed her opinion. I think she is still very judgmental.
Okay.
Very closed off.
Probably because she's applying it to herself. Like, she doesn't want to be in a relationship with a partner where she has to take care of the guy or girl, I don't know.
I would assume so.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who don't want that. I just happen to be one of the females that enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, you know, some people like dogs, some people like cats, and they're never going to change until maybe they get a dog or a cat.
Or a cat, yeah.
And they have to look after it. I've seen people change on that too.
That is absolutely fair.
Until you physically put a little kitten or puppy in their hand.
Yep.
And yeah, I have seen people do a 180 on that.
And I'm a cat person myself. I get along with dogs. They're cute and all, but I have cats. Yeah. So I can relate to that.
Yeah. And I'm a dog person. But with your cats, I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute.
They've been trained and raised to have manners. And I'm proud of each and all of them.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I saw them as kittens. I'm like, you trained them?
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
I mean, to the extent you can a cat.
Yeah.
they are very independent creatures. In closing, is there anything you want to say to those watching on the internet that kind of summarizes your thoughts on the subject and just kind of and take us out?
Okay. Well, I would like to give some dating advice. And I was going to say date open-minded people, but there are a lot of people who claim they're open-minded and are really not open-minded and have already made judgments. So I would say date people who are curious and who enjoy learning things and who are empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good? I mean, you should date those people anyways, right?
You should. But yeah. I agree. And if I may add on to that is, be with somebody that helps you unpack the entirety of who you are and embraces all aspects of who you are. Not somebody that necessarily just only lets you conditionally enjoy a quality that is at the core something you identify with.
That is really good. Yes.
I think the best dating advice I could ever give is to picture your relationship with your partner as being two cups. And between the two of you, you have a pitcher of lemonade. And your cup is your cup, their cup is their cup. You pour your partner's cup until it is full from the pitcher of life. Uh-huh. But you drink from your own. I'm
definitely going to have you on the existential ABDL panel that I'm going to do. And we're going to ask, life questions about diapers and purpose.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah. I like the deep sea. I'm comfortable in the deep end.
I know you are. So thank you for doing this with me.
My pleasure.
I picked the right person. Now I think it's time for a diaper check.
Oh no.
Bye everyone.
Bye.